All right, so if you're a Java developer, chances are you've danced with Hibernate. It's this amazing, powerful ORM framework that feels like pure magic. Right up until the moment it absolutely doesn't. So let's talk about that journey, that moment we've all had, and figure out a better way to tame this incredible but sometimes tricky tool. Steve Ebersol, the lead dev of Hibernate ORM, he just nails it with this quote. Every single one of us starts in the exact same place, what I like to call the honeymoon phase. You throw in a couple of annotations, you fire up a quick prototype, and wow, everything just works. It's so easy. That database layer you were dreading, it just, poof, handles itself. It's an absolutely fantastic feeling, right? And then reality hits hard. That beautiful, simple promise smacks right into what I call the complexity wall. Suddenly, a few simple annotations turns into this tangled web of complex mappings. That automatic SQL that was your best friend? Yeah, now it's creating these monster performance bottlenecks. And that amazing "it just works" feeling? It's gone, replaced by hours, maybe days, of you staring at a screen, debugging some ridiculously tricky configuration. We've all been there. So what do you do? How do you get past that wall? I mean, you could try reading the official documentation, right? But let's be honest, it's massive. It's incredibly thorough, for sure, but trying to read it cover to cover is like trying to drink from a fire hose. It tells you what every single screw and bolt does, but it doesn't always give you the blueprint for how to actually build the car. We need a totally different way to think about this. Okay, so let's try a reframe. What if learning Hibernate wasn't about memorizing that giant, dense manual? What if you had a cookbook instead? Think about it. Not some textbook, but a collection of super targeted recipes. Each one laser focused on solving one specific real-world problem that you actually run into. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? All right, let's open up our new cookbook. First chapter, bootstrapping your project. I mean, we have to start at the beginning, right? And this is one of those fundamental steps where getting the recipe right from the start can save you a world of pain later on. And boom, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Look at this. Instead of a 20-page essay on configuration, we have this simple, clean table. You're in a standard Java SE app? Cool, here's your recipe, persistence XML, and a quick call to create Entity Manager Factory. Doing something in Java EE? Same file, just a different way to get the Entity Manager. And of course, Spring Boot. It's even easier. Just pop your details in application.properties and at AutoWired your way to success. See? 3 different situations, 3 dead simple recipes. Done. Okay, so our project is set up. We're bootstrapped. Now let's get to the real meat and potatoes of any ORM, the mapping. This is all about connecting your Java objects to your database tables. And honestly, this is where that initial Hibernate magic we talked about really, really shines. I mean, just look at this list. For tons of the Java types you use every single day, we're talking strings, integers, booleans, longs, even the newer stuff like local date, Hibernate just gets it. It needs zero extra help from you. It just knows how to map them. This is the default recipe, and frankly, for a whole lot of your basic fields, it's the only one you'll ever need. But you knew there was a but coming, right? Here's the classic problem. I guarantee every single one of us has hit this. In your Java code, you're all neat and tidy with camel case, like last name. But the database, the DBA, insists on snake case, so you've got a column named lname. Total mismatch? So what's the cookbook recipe for that little situation? Check it out. It's this easy. One simple annotation at column. That's it. You just tell Hibernate, hey, for this field, the column name is actually this other thing, and it takes care of everything else. This right here, this is the whole point of the cookbook approach, a tiny, powerful piece of knowledge for a super common problem. You don't need to read 50 pages on mapping strategies to solve it. Okay, so we've seen how this works for the simple stuff, but does this whole cookbook idea hold up when things get trickier? Let's take on a more advanced challenge, one that I know trips up a lot of developers, mapping Java enums. Right out of the box, JPA gives you 2 standard ways to handle enums. First, there's ordinal mapping. This just stores the position of the enum in the list, 0, 1, 2, and so on. Sounds okay, but it's a trap. The second someone on your team reorders that enum to be alphabetical, poof, all your data is instantly corrupted. It's a nightmare waiting to happen. The other option is string mapping, which is better, but if you ever decide to rename an enum value, well, get ready to write a database migration script for your entire table. The bottom line is, both of the standard recipes are kind of bad. So this is where we need to flip to the advanced techniques chapter of our cookbook. And the recipe we're looking for is the attribute converter. This thing is a game changer. It's a JPA feature that basically lets you hijack the mapping process and take complete control. Think of it like your own personal custom translator that sits between your Java code and the database, making sure everything is stored exactly, and I mean exactly, how you want it. And you might think, oh great, a custom solution, this is going to be complicated. But it's not. The recipe is actually super straightforward. Step 1, you implement the attribute converter interface. Step 2, you write your own logic for how to convert the value to a database column. And step 3, you slap on an annotation to tell Hibernate, hey, use this converter for me automatically. That's it. And with this, you have total power. Look at this example. Instead of storing a fragile number like 1 or a long string like published, you can just say, you know what? I'm going to store a single character, p. It's way more efficient, it's totally robust, you can reorder or rename your enum all day long and nothing will break. You've completely sidestepped all the problems of the standard ways of doing things. So let's just take a step back. We've gone from the very first step of bootstrapping to basic mappings all the way to a pretty advanced topic with these attribute converters. And you can see how thinking about these as recipes completely changes the game. It's not about memorizing 1,000 pages anymore. It's about knowing how to find the right solution for the problem right in front of you. And here's the crazy part. What we've looked at today, that's just a tiny taste. The book this is all based on, Thorben Johnson's Hibernate Tips, has over 70 of these recipes. 70. That's a huge library of practical, battle-tested solutions for everything from complex mappings and querying to serious performance tuning. There's almost certainly a recipe in there for the exact problem you're going to face next week. And we're back to Steve Abersole again, because he just sums it up perfectly. This isn't about becoming a walking encyclopedia of Hibernate. It's about building your developer's toolbox. Every single one of these recipes, every tip, is just another tool that you can add to your collection, ready to pull out the moment you need it. So if there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this. Stop trying to memorize the manual. It's a fool's errand. Instead, start thinking like a chef. Start collecting your recipes. Start building your toolbox. Because once you have the right tools at your fingertips, the whole question changes. It's not, how do I make this work anymore? It's, wow, what am I going to build with this?